Hi everyone, I've got another Bible code to share that's coming up on the 10th month, and this is in addition to all the other Bible codes that I've done where the terms 10th month come up. As you can see here, I've done several codes that talk about the 10th month or the month of October, and this is just one more to add to the list. And this one reads 7th month, 6th seal, 10th, which could go with month, Shilo, and this is just an alternate spelling for Shilo. Sometimes it's spelled with an H, and sometimes it's spelled without an H, and red horse. And of course I have some other terms that came up as well, but I just want to go over this one first. And the 7th month would be referring to the month of Tishri, which according to the Creator's calendar, we're still in the month of Tishri. Also, before I get started, I just want to thank Kurt Jurgens for mentioning me in this video over here. I feel really honored to be mentioned and to be a part of that, so I just want to thank him for that. And I also want to thank him for showing me how to make the screen a little bit bigger in the comments section. So I'm going to try that now. So hopefully you all will be able to see the screen a little bit bigger, a little bit better. Okay, and I'm going to go over the terms in just a second. But what's really amazing about this table is that it comes up in the book of Leviticus, chapter 25. And this is a chapter where it's talking all about the Jubilee. And as you may know, I believe the true Jubilee year would be this year, which is Hebrew year 5777. Okay, so I'm going to go over the terms first, and then I'll read the matrix. And over here in the yellow, you have the word red with the letters R, E, D. In the green, you have the word horse with the letters H, O, R, S, E. And then you have 7th coming up in the plain text, and 6 is coming up in the plain text. You have seal coming up here in the bluish lavender with the letters S, E, A, L. And you have the word Shilo coming up in ELS form in the green with the letters S, H, I, L, L. L-O. And it's interesting where the word Shilo comes up in the text, and I'll show you that in just a second. Over here in the blue, you have the word 10th with the letters T, E, N, T, H. And you have the word month coming up in the pink with the letters M, O, N, T, H. And like I said before, what's really amazing is that this is coming up in the book of Leviticus, where it's talking about the wheat harvest and the Jubilee. And so I'm going to go ahead and read the matrix, and as you may notice, as I read the matrix, there's some really interesting key phrases that come up in the matrix as well. And so this begins with verse 15, and it says, according to the number of years after the Jubilee, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor, and according to the number of years of the crops he shall sell unto thee. According to the multitude of the years thou shalt increase the price thereof, and according to the fewness of the years thou shalt diminish the price of it, for the number of the crops doth he sell unto thee. And ye shall not wrong one another, but thou shalt fear thy God, for I am Jehovah your God. Wherefore ye shall do my statutes, and keep mine ordinances, and do them, and ye shall dwell in the land in safety. And the land shall yield its fruit, and ye shall eat your fill, and dwell therein in safety. And if ye shall say, what shall we eat the 7th year? Behold, we shall not sow, nor gather in our increase. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years. And ye shall sow the 8th year, and eat of the fruits, the old store, until the 9th year, until its fruits come in, you shall eat the old store. And the land shall not be sold in perpetuity, for the land is mine, for ye are strangers and sojourners with me. And in all the land of your possession, ye shall grant a redemption for the land. And if thy brother be waxed poor, and sell some of his possession, then shall his kinsman that is next to him, and shall redeem that which his brother hath sold. And if a man have no one to redeem it, and he be waxed rich, and find sufficient to redeem it, then let him reckon the years of the sale thereof, and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, and he shall return unto his possession. And if he be not able to get it back for himself, then that which he hath sold shall remain in the hand of him that hath bought it until the year of Jubilee, and in the Jubilee it shall go out, and he shall return unto his possession. Okay, so as you can see, this is talking all about the Jubilee. It's talking about returning unto his possession. It's talking about the kinsman redeemer. And as I had said earlier, the word Shilo comes up in the plain text. I mean, not in the plain text, but in neoless form in the green. And it's really interesting where Shilo comes up, because it comes up right here where you have the word gather, where it says gather in our increase. And of course this is talking about the wheat harvest. And it's saying we shall not sow or gather, but in terms of the context of doing a table, you can extract the words we shall gather in our increase. And right there is where you have the word Shilo in ELS form in the green. And then it goes on to say, then will I command my blessing upon you. And then it goes on to say in the 6th year, but then it goes on to talk about the 7th year and the 8th year, which of course the 8th year would be the Jubilee year. And like I said, it's interesting that Shilo comes up where it's talking about gathering in the increase, because when you look at Genesis 49:10, where it talks about Shilo, it says, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shilo come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. And then you see here in the text where you have Shilo is where it talks about gathering in our increase, which would be the wheat harvest, which is represented by the bride. And of course the 7th month would be the month of Tishri, which is the month of the ingathering, or the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay, and there's a few more terms to go over in this table, but I just want to show you when you put in just 7th month, 6th seal, you see that you come up with 4 different matrices, and all of these matrices are really interesting. This first one right here is in the book of Chronicles, and this is really amazing because in the book of Chronicles it's actually talking about what took place in Joshua 3, where it talks about Joshua, or Yeshua in the Old Testament, where he led the people, and there was a miracle with the Jordan River where the land was dried up, just like with Moses and the Red Sea, and the people were able to pass through the Jordan and into the Promised Land. And this is chronicled as well here in the book of Chronicles in chapter 12. This is what it's talking about, and I'll go ahead and read this real quick. Over here you see where you have the terms 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and I'm not sure if this could perhaps be giving some type of time frame, a range of months. That's just a thought. But I'm going to start reading from over here in verse 14. It says, "These of the sons of Gad were captains of the host. He that was least was equal to 100, and the greatest to 1,000. These are they that went over the Jordan in the first month, when it had overflowed all its banks, and they put to flight all of them in the valleys, both toward the east and toward the west." And over here you have some commentaries, because I wanted to be sure that it was talking about the same thing that's being talked about in Joshua 3, and these commentaries verify that it is talking about the same thing. And in terms of the first month, it's actually talking about the month of Nisan, but we know that the first month of Nisan is a parallel to the first month of Tishri, and these are the feasts and the events in the scripture. They all mirror each other, the fall and the spring feasts. Okay, the next matrix that this comes up in would be Ezra 2, and again, this is really interesting. It's interesting, first of all, because of all these terms up here. You have 400, which that's an important number in the scriptures. There's also some prophecies about 400 years, and 430 is also very important in scripture, and I may put a link about that in the description box. But then you also have some other terms with numbers here as well that could have some meaning. But as far as the matrix, I'm just going to start reading from about verse 70, chapter 2, verse 70, and chapter 3, verse 1, because I believe these two verses are the most significant in terms of what we're searching for here at the top. And so it says, "So the priests and the Levites and some of the people and the singers and the porters and the Nethinim dwelt in their cities, and all Israel in their cities. And when the 7th month was come, and the children of Israel were in the cities, the people gathered themselves together as one man to Jerusalem." And I believe the significance of that is self-explanatory, so I'm just going to go on to the next matrix. And this one is really amazing because it's coming up in Haggai 1 and 2, where it's talking about God shaking the heavens and the earth. And I'll just read from chapter 2, verse 1 over here. It says, "In the 7th month, in the 21st day of the month, came the word of Jehovah by Haggai the prophet, saying," okay, and I'm just going to skip down to verse 6 over here. As you can see, I put in some more terms in this one, and it brought up more of the matrix, and I'll go over this table in the next video, but I just want to read the scripture right here. It says, "For thus saith Jehovah of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land, and I will shake all nations, and the precious things of the nations shall come, and I will fill this house with glory, saith Jehovah of hosts." So as you can see, these all come up in really amazing matrices, and I'll go over some more of the terms and some more of the matrix in the next video. Thank you.